Hello, everyone. My name is FA Chantal Ghanney Simons. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share this work entitled Selection Criteria for Urology Residency, Results of a National Urology Residency Program Director and Urology Applicant Survey. So briefly as background, the urology match rate has historically been one of the lowest among specialties, 2014 match rate of 53% and in 2021 of 68%. In that same time span, the number of applications per applicant has increased from 59 to 71 in 2014 to 2021. The match rate may be lower for those who identify as underrepresented in medicine or URM applicants. Therefore, our study objectives were twofold. One, to assess the extent of concordance between the perceived importance of factors by urology program directors versus by urology applicants. And secondly, to examine differences in URM urology applicants and their non-URM peers' perception of importance of various factors for favorable ranking. So we disseminated a survey, one to program directors and APDs and a separate one to urology applicants. The survey for program directors went to all 144 urology residency programs over a 4-week time span, and there are weekly reminders for participation. Specific question asked was, how important are the following factors in your evaluation of a urology applicant, i.e. the factors that make you favorably rank a urology applicant? The response was on a 5-point like-it scale, where 1 was not at all important and 5 was extremely important. For the applicant survey, all 523 urology applicants received the survey, disseminated over a 4-week period. There were weekly reminders, and each individual who completed the survey received a $20 Amazon gift card. Our analysis were by post hoc pairwise comparison, so by t-tests. And the demographics of the urology residency programs of the program directors as well as the applicants are as follows, or as seen in our table. Those are a wide distribution of race, ethnicity, as well as gender. Now to our findings. I'm going to turn your attention to figure A, where figure A is the percentage of individuals that rank a particular variable as a 4 or very important, or as a 5, extremely important. The gray bars represent the program directors, the blue bars are the URM applicants, and the maroon bars are the non-URM applicants. So our first finding of importance, the top 5 variables of factors, i.e. the factors that have the most program directors saying that they were very important or extremely important are: 1, interactions with faculty or house staff; 2, letter of recommendation from someone in the specialty; 3, urology sub-I; 4, evidence of professionalism and ethics; and 5, perceived commitment to specialty. It's worth noting that all 5 of these variables are rather subjective and so are susceptible to bias. Second thing worth noting, grades in required clerkship. There is a vast difference or discordance between the percentage of program directors that find this to be very or extremely important compared to applicants, over 20% more PDs. However, on the flip side, for research publications, about 20% more applicants find this to be very extremely important as compared to program directors. When it comes to step 1 and step 2 scores, again, there's this discordance where applicants deem it very extremely important, more so than program directors. And then the regard of a medical school, more applicants tend to view this as very extremely important as compared to program directors. So when we put these findings together, a over-evaluation of step 1 scores, step 2 scores, and research, and an under-evaluation of the grades in the required clerkships. This has implications as to how a medical student navigates their medical school career in terms of how they prioritize their time and how they prioritize getting a rounded education. Now to figure B is this, it's a different way of illustrating the same information, whereby we calculated the mean score that was attributed to each variable, and then calculated the difference between the mean score for the program director, and that would be at the center, so the program director, as opposed to the urology applicant. Anyone who any variable that has a score that falls To the left of the screen of the graph, this represents an undervaluation by the urology applicants, and to the right represents an overvaluation in comparison to program directors. So here we find that there is an undervaluation of clerkship grades, preclinical grades, non-urology senior elective grades, and also of professionalism and ethics. Again, when you put these all together, they have implications to how a medical student values their medical school education, receiving a well-rounded education as opposed to this insular, singular purpose of becoming a urologist at these formative years. On the flip side, when we look at research publications, there's an overvaluation by medical students. And same is true for step 2 scores and step 1 scores, as well as medical school reputation. So in conclusion, applicants and PDs have different perceptions of what factors are important in the urology match. This discordance also exists for URM applicants, and we must question whether this contributes to the low representation of URM in urology. Then residency programs may consider clearly communicating their selection criteria so applicants may self-evaluate and determine whether a program would indeed be a good match. So what we're asking for or seeking is transparency with the residency program selection process, particularly the criteria that is used in order for us to have students apply more appropriately to decrease the number of applications and the burden on program directors as they review these applications, and hopefully increase the match rate as well. Thank you for your kind attention.